What is going on, you guys? Andrew back with another video. Today, no unboxings. We're doing, it's more of a discussion. I don't usually make these kind of videos, but I decided I had to get in front of the camera because this subject combines two of my favorite topics, sneakers and lawsuits. If you guys recall, in the last couple of years, Nike sued John Geiger, an independent designer, for infringing on trademarks of the Nike Air Force One with his sneaker, the John Geiger GF01. I have a video about that. You can check it out in the link in the description. And the reason for this video is because it appears Nike is suing yet another independent designer. However, this time I feel like the allegations of trademark infringement are a bit more well-deserved. Complex reported on their sneaker news site that Nike had filed a trademark infringement lawsuit against Nick Van Arvinger and David Weeks of I think it's Kiy LLC. I'm gonna say Kiy LLC, and Bill Omar Carrasquillo, aka Omi. Sorry if I butchered your last name, by the way. If you ever watch this, I'm sorry I butchered your last name. aka Omi, of Reloaded Merch LLC, for, quote, promoting, copying, and selling, end quote, Nike's designs as their own, specifically referring to the Air Jordan 1 and the Nike Dunk models. I want to explain the details of the case before I show any pictures or examples, so if you're waiting for that, just wait a little bit longer. I want to get the facts out there and then give you guys my opinion, because that's going to coincide with what I'm going to show you. According to Nike's lawyers, the brand had notified Kiy LLC of the alleged infringement in August of last year, 2021, and attempted to reach an out-of-court resolution without success. Omi was contacted in October of 2021 with the same result, and according to the document viewed by the writers at Complex, the brand had 1 week to contact Nike's lawyers to discuss the matter or be faced with a federal lawsuit. Despite these warnings, the lawsuit filed this week alleges that the two brands had continued to profit off of the infringed designs. The two brands are not the only involved parties in Nike's lawsuit, as they are also taking legal aim at Wandering Planet Import and Export Company Limited. It's a China-based manufacturer, and according to Nike's lawsuit, quote, by supplying Kiy and Omi with knockoff sneakers using Nike's registered Air Jordan 1 and Dunk trade dress, Wandering Planet knowingly participated in a scheme to intentionally create confusion in the marketplace and capitalize on it. According to the Complex article, along with the trademark infringement, Nike says that Kiy and Omi's designs are also grounds for counts of false designation of origin, unfair competition, and trademark dilution. The swoosh's lawyers argue that the alleged knockoff sneakers are likely to confuse customers about the origin of the product and Nike's connection to them, especially on the secondary market, where it highlights examples of resellers using variations of the Air Jordan 1 name to advertise Kiy's products. In addition, Nike is asking the court to prevent any further production and advertisement of the sneaker. They are also asking that the defendants provide any and all product, packaging, and promotional materials to be sent to Nike for destruction, as well as seeking compensation for all damages and related expenses. That number has yet to be determined, and I feel like once we hear that number, it's not going to be very pretty. So let's get into the evidence of trademark infringement as quoted by Nike's lawyers. So the facts of the case are clear. Nike is accusing these two companies of infringing on a trademark they own that in this case specifically includes the Dunk and Jordan 1 models, which even non-sneakerheads can tell you have become extremely popular in the last couple of years for people that don't collect sneakers. Sneakerheads know that Dunks and Jordan 1s were not always popular, but you couldn't tell anybody that now. So now that you have the facts, these are the images involved in the litigation that showcases Nike's reasoning for taking legal action. As you can see, they even organized them by colorway. It is clear as day to me that these designs, if we can, quote-unquote designs, if we can even call them that, are ripping off well-known colorways of an extremely popular shoe that's been around since the 80s. I mean, the silhouette, the color blocking, even down to the pattern of the holes in the toe box, it's basically a Jordan 1. And this is exactly why I think that Nike has every right to and should be suing these guys. Now let's get into my opinion, because that's the reason I made this video in the first place. In my opinion, and again, this is my opinion, I'll stand by this, it is as if you saw those bullshit Revenge Storm knockoff Vans with a lightning bolt on the side and you thought, I could do it better with even less work involved. Why are you calling yourselves designers when you've never had an original thought? And what makes this even more obvious to me that there's no artistic value in the shoes that are being released under these guys' business names, it's the fact that even in the product pictures, they look like shit. That's not a legal term. They look cheap and shitty. At least in John Geiger's case, you cannot deny that he put better materials and better construction effort behind the GF-01 than you would normally get on an Air Force One. Which obviously the Air Force One is the inspiration behind the GF-01, but it's an elevated version, and that was the whole intent behind the GF-01. With these, there's no elevation to it. There's no better products, no better materials, no better, like, production. It's cheaper crap. Now, what I had not mentioned before is the fact that despite Kiy and Omi being originally business partners under the same business name, they're being sued as two separate entities as co-defendants because they both went their separate ways, business-wise. I'm going to keep referencing the Complex article because that's where I'm getting the most information, and according to the article, according to Omi, the two competing designers had a falling out over their manufacturer. I told him, listen, if you don't call back the manufacturer, I'm going to release your shoe for cheaper. So what I did was, I took the shoe, I took the brand, and ran with it. It worked out for both of us, honestly, because we're both kind of popping off of it. You were. That's the problem with people like this. They pop off doing something the cheap way, and then when it comes time to pay the piper, it's, guess what? You shouldn't have brought so much attention to yourself. But what kind of integrity do you have as a business person where the guy that you started the business with, you look him in the eyes and you say, I'm gonna just take your product, sell it for cheaper if you don't, if you don't do what I want you to do. What kind of business integrity is that? That's, like, to me, that just says a lot about you as a person that makes me feel even less bad for you that you're being sued by one of the biggest shoe companies in the world. Now, I mentioned the manufacturing company in Nike's lawsuit as well, Wandering Planet, and if you do a quick Google search, you look at the top two results, and you can see exactly why I think these guys are hacks. Wandering Planet, I'm going to showcase the screen right here. Wandering Planet proudly displays their, quote, lightning label skateboard shoes, end quote, which would cost you only $45 a unit if you order 3,000 or more. So the products can be easily acquired, all you need is a little bit of startup capital. They're basically drop shipping knockoff Jordans. But the best part about it, let me tell you the best part about it, and this is why I have absolutely zero sympathy for Kiy specifically, and zero sympathy for Omi because he was complacent in this too. On his website right now, as I'm recording this video, December 1st, you can buy the, quote, Air Kiys for $400. After taxes and shipping, you're paying more than $400 for a shoe that cost him $45 when he bought in bulk. And that's $400 in US dollars that you're paying for some knockoff crap. At the very least, and I mentioned Omi separately, at the very least, Omi's only selling his for $200. $200, $400, if you're paying any amount of money to these guys, you're being ripped off. There is no creativity behind what these two are doing. There is no business integrity or personal integrity that I could see from what they do and how they behave, and that's why I feel no sympathy towards them that Nike's actively pursuing a lawsuit against the two of them. If they had just settled out of court a year and a half ago, they wouldn't be facing this long, hard, impendingly expensive lawsuit that is coming their way from the biggest shoe manufacturer in the world. As I'm recording this video, I saw that Kiy is releasing a new line of slides. Not something I would ever buy personally, it's not my style, but knowing the kind of person he is, knowing the kind of business that he runs, I would never support it. So, if that's your thing, more power to you. But it looks like they're dropping new product as soon as possible so they can cover their lawyer fees. Good luck with that, I guess, and until next time, this is Andrew signing off, and a little bit of advice for you.
See, the more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
Till next time.